Adaptability and why it can be a superpower. Being adaptable allows you to not keep conforming to who you were yesterday, the week before, the month before, whenever it was, because we're guilty of waking up every day and largely doing, thinking, being, feeling the same as we were yesterday. Something like 90% of what we think, feel, and that affects our emotions and how we look at life and how then things are going to occur. 90% roughly. Dr. Joe Dispenza quotes, yeah, about 90% is going to just be the same if you're not actively waking up and changing things up. And that takes being adaptable. There's so many different points of view and perspectives and information out there these days. With the age of the internet. It was the age of information, the internet of information. First of all, that was the first stage of the internet, and it just seems like now with devices, which are largely like still having these devices with all this media now on them in our pockets, is very, very new in terms of how long civilization or the history goes back. So I think it's good to have beliefs, but I think things are evolving and changing. We've talked about the half-life of knowledge before, where if a surgeon or a dentist or whatever, all these professions, they've mapped it out. And if you were trained 15 years ago, there's a percentage of the knowledge now that would be redundant that you learn then. Like some of them were like 50, 60, 70% of the stuff. If you'd have just stayed there and you were here today, a lot of that stuff's it's evolved, it's changed, it's improved, it's moved. So you've got to be adaptable because all of this knowledge and understanding, technology, everything is always changing. So if you're not adaptable and you're just sitting in where you're at and not being open to the new, then you're instantly going to be holding yourself back from opportunities, from change, for going and taking different paths in life. So I think a good thing to do is just try to wake up every day and have some dedicated routines, but I just try and think like I know nothing, because we really don't anyway, do we? Really. We all know a little bit in our own fields. And I think a lot of people, I had about 3 different scripts running in my head. Like yesterday, no inspiration, no nothing. And that's why I love working for myself when we're inspiring people to build businesses and work for themselves. So, because it's one of those 5 departments in life with our Life Master Free program, just to be able to design your life. Emily and I were talking about the lifestyle design term, and we don't like it anymore. So it's just life design, designing your life. To do that, which is what we're helping with in our programs, with setting up businesses, then you can like have a day like yesterday. And I'm just like, I'm not feeling it at all. I tried to open my laptop. There was nothing there, which was fine. So I think that's a sign to just have a rest, and that we did. I don't know if I took any pictures of my food yesterday, but what did we have for dinner? Oh, it was like a chicken mushroom pasta, but the chicken was really overcooked and dry. But porcini mushrooms and the pasta from that Fattoria La Viella in Italy. Delicious. I feel like I'm going to go off on about 27 tangents on this video, so not sorry. So yeah, adaptability. I think with business now, if you're in business or if you want to get into business, we're giving away all of our business blueprints. We're going to try and set up 100 startups in a year to like show you all the different examples of online businesses that you can do. I mean, as many as we can. If there's more, we'll keep going. There will be more, because there's not just the business model and combination of business models. Then there's a combination of pricing, and do you offer trials? Is it free? Is it affiliate marketing? Recommending other people's products. Affiliate marketing is often confused with pyramid selling, which is, if you think like that, then you don't know anything, because there is a clear, distinct difference between network marketing, affiliate marketing, and pyramid selling. And although they might look in a diagram to draw, I'll have to make a separate video about the differences and the dangers with network marketing, because I have experience with 2 companies with that, and I've since done research after that just to confirm things. But yeah, another tangent. Wow. I'm dialed in. I'm on the grass. You've seen those videos where people put a voltmeter to the fingers when you're on the grass, and there's proven that there's a current, a current that comes up from the earth. I believe that. Bare feet on the grass, definitely. Been reading about getting energy from trees of late, and the science behind that. I've actually then seen it in a few podcasts, science podcasts or like business podcasts where they get the health guests on, going through the science of trees and the energy in them. So yeah, wow, adaptability. And yeah, I was also going to talk about, we'll try and wind in the adaptability. But I was thinking, I was looking earlier on my stats, and I haven't really looked at these stats before. You can go on to like the YouTube manager. We're starting to get some more views and comments. Great, that'll keep increasing. Brilliant. So I thought I'd better get into the numbers over there. My dying laptop, which I need to replace very soon before I go away. Yeah, and most of the viewers are male, 85% of them male, and most of them are like, yeah, the 35 to 44-year-old bracket, I think it was, and then quite a few on the bracket underneath that. And then it got me thinking, I was like, about midlife crises, midlife crisicles. Yeah, you know, you hear about these, don't you? And it always seems to be like, you see it in TV and movies and things like that, and it's always the man, isn't it, that has like the midlife crisis. You never hear about the woman having a midlife crisis. And then I was thinking, like, I mean, I don't think I'm going to change. Like, a lot of people say, like, hold on your target and change the language and all of this stuff for them. But it's like, no, I want to appeal to both, because I think, well, I just want to be me. I don't want to appeal to. I want to appeal to whoever this appeals to by being me. That's it, really. That's all you should worry about. I don't want to get too bogged down in all this stat nonsense. But yeah, I was thinking about the male midlife crisis, and it's kind of, I was thinking like about adaptability. That was it. With having a child, because we had a child, Vito's like 15 months now, and it's kind of like a lot of so life passes people by a lot of the time, doesn't it? And I think especially if you have a child, I think a lot of guys, maybe when there was like less options in the world, like there is now, like a generation or so ago, it's like, if you had children, because everybody had children a lot earlier on then, so it's like you might get to 30, 40 and be like, what's going on? You know, what about me? Maybe. Or I think then a lot of people, if you don't have money or you haven't followed what you really wanted to do because for certain circumstances, money, and then you had a family, and then 20 years pass you by and you're like, what the hell happened? You know, maybe that. And then I think a lot of people that have money, they're just like, they feel a bit like, then they go and buy that car. That's the classic thing, isn't it? The midlife crisis dad buying a sports car, you know. But it's just weird, the kind of images we have of these things in our mind. There's a term for it. I can't remember it now. I forget. Yeah. And I don't think, I'm not saying I've had a midlife crisis, but it has been a really hard, like, period of, like, especially having success and money and freedom, and then no again. It's like, so it kind of, especially coming to 40, you're like, I want to be a millionaire by 40, and then you're not. Yeah, it's just maybe women, like, if especially if you have a child, that their kind of purpose immediately changes. Not that the father's doesn't. Like, I'm all in on this, and it's amazing, but there's obviously a connection between the child and the mother that the father doesn't have. Yeah, it's obviously from conception, it's been in there and brewing, and this connection formed, which is kind of like this, like, unsaid, intuitive, magical connection, which I love. Like, I love. And maybe I think I remember this. I've seen this with some people. Yeah. Well, then after the children are kind of growing older, then maybe it's the female's turn, the woman's turn, to be, oh yeah, what is life about? And then they might make some changes. I've seen this, but yeah, I was just thinking about it, and it's kind of when life passes you by, or through circumstances of having a family and then just time passing on, you can see like some of the days in the early years, like you get to like 6 p.m, you're absolutely knackered, and then you lay your head down, and then your brain, that's when your mind fills, because you've not had a time to process anything during the day. And as a dad, you kind of sometimes feel like you're just doing like, because Emily's breastfeeding, so I'm going to support everything I can do around that, so I'll just do absolutely everything. Then some days you're just like, wow, that was a lot of jobs. I'm going to need to lie down. And you've done really not a lot for you, which is okay, because you've become a father. That I'm not complaining. I'm just saying there's a change. I guess you need a massive bandwidth of adaptability. And luckily, we have this. We've adapted so much and evolved so much in this last year or so. And I think that's what I just want for people in this video today to just consider, like, how adaptable are you in your life? How adaptable are you in your life? What about your mind? If somebody has a different point of view from you, can you be like, oh, I'm going to listen to this impartially and not react and not kick off, or not immediately let my ego block any minuscule molecule ray of light into my mind sight to consider even a fragment of this. But yeah, your health, your body, like, I was very adaptable yesterday, and I was honest with it in the video, and it felt, after the video, and I didn't even publish it last night because I just couldn't bring myself to do it, because I just didn't feel great, and I was like, that was a terrible video, terrible, probably the worst. But some new neighbours, they're rather noisy. They've got lots of flash cars. They were driving motorbikes down the other day, which is fine, people do that, but one of them driving a car down the Viking Way. Not recommended. Oh, where was I? But yeah, just being adaptable with life. How adaptable are you in life? How adaptable are you with all those areas of life? With business, like, if you've got, and making businesses, you've got to be, if you're starting up now, like, hopefully following some of the stuff we're doing, because we're showing it to you in the easiest way possible. Here's the business example, like nonconformity clothing. If you want to start a clothing brand, here you go. Here's our example. You just get a Shopify store, bang, and use these tools for the finance, Stripe for the connection, and then Printify.com to hook up to the Shopify to connect with dropshipping stores around the world. So you can sell millions of designs and only invest like hardly nothing up front. You'll probably want to spend the money getting a few samples, testing the process, and Shopify have a free trial, but then it's like, oh, 30, 40 bucks. You've got your shop. You might want to buy a theme for 100, 200. Then you've got a clothing brand. You can set this up in the weekend. So that's just one example of what we're showing you about business, an online business, and how easy it is to be. But we need to be adaptable in that model at all times, because things are always changing. The AI tools and the software and the automation tools are continually evolving every day. My software that I'm using just for this, and then testing some other things, new features are coming in every couple of weeks. So I've got a lot to keep up to date with, and then trying to filter it to you, the best stuff to keep you up to date. We've got Nonconformity AI, which is the newsletter business model, which is a great business model. I follow people that make millions from just sending out a weekly newsletter. And it's taken them years, yeah, but they started and they built it up, and they dedicate themselves, and they had the consistency, and now they're still doing what they love. They're sending a newsletter, and they get to research the things that they're into. They update people that care about that topic, and this guy's gone to all the trouble to do it. But from the things and the links and some of the products he recommends, and other products that he could sell around there, information, and some of his other brands, he's making a massive amount of cash by still doing what he did and he loves doing at the start, when he had no subscribers, because he was still researching and he was still learning. God, it's 14 and a half minutes. Like, I could just keep going all day today. It's just, I love it to do more on the grass. I was feeling like this before coming on the grass, although I did come on the grass for a few golf shots. Got some of those plastic balls and a pitching wedge and a plant pot. Just to because I love doing it. I love it. I love doing all the things that I love to do, whatever I want to do them. All right.